Hello friends and coffee lovers, what is up? Since I was last on YouTube, we built a mobile bar for our indoor setups, trying to really find a creative solution to winters here in Michigan. So this is the base of the cart. I'll start by answering just a few of probably like the most common questions we've been getting asked. The first one, yes, it is a collapsible cart, so we bring it all kind of in separate pieces and then we build it on site and load all of the plumbing and equipment onto it from there. The second question, did we build it ourselves? A family friend, one of my dad's good friends, built it for us. Altogether, it was about $200 for the parts, and he was kind enough to just kind of build it from there, which saved us a ton. There are some great resources online or different people like Simple Cart who build carts. If you are not necessarily handy, I recommend reaching out to your network, seeing if there's anybody who could maybe buy some plans and build it themselves, or you can reach out to some local woodworkers. And this project is like a couple-hour project for someone who's experienced, so it's really not too intense. For me personally, it would have been, but if you have somebody who's familiar with woodworking and has the right tools, it should only be a day project. The cart did come to us, like I mentioned, built, but we painted it ourselves and we added all of the plumbing and everything that we would need to fully operate ourselves. So that's kind of the base. I'm gonna build it and then we'll go from there. Here she is, fully assembled. As you can see, we used a material that was light enough that I could lift it on my own and that the bar isn't too wide, that I can slide this top piece on just fine. Take a look at the other side. We left this nice and open so that we could keep as many of our supplies down here as possible. And then all we really have to do is put our little box and other equipment up here on the counter, and everything else hides underneath so that it's not messy from a customer perspective. Another question we get asked a lot from this point is, do you need a separate inspection? Yes. So while my trailer is already inspected and licensed, this cart also needs its own inspection, its own license, and I have to go through the whole process again, which means you have to go through the payment again. So in Michigan, this initial inspection is going to be around $500. I don't only need this setup, I do also need access to a hand washing sink of sorts, even if it's like a pop-up one, some type of way to wash my dishes, and every public event you need access to a restroom, which for farmers markets and things like that, there's usually public access. So I have to rewrite all of my plans, submit everything, I will take it in for an inspection, and then twice a year, every year, both the trailer and this cart will need to have an inspector come out and take a look at it. Okay, so I plan to do another video at a later time, really breaking down like the ins and outs of the plumbing and like all that fun technical stuff. But for now, I just wanted to keep it short and sweet and kind of show you the cart setup that we're working with. So this panel right here, to give you a general rundown, has our kind of flow jet water pump system. So we keep this on its own board so that it's not fully attached to the cart. That way, if we're doing an event that we don't want to use our full espresso machine, maybe it's just cold brew or something, we don't need to bring all this unnecessary stuff. Also, this panel keeps everything self-contained. We learned the hard way in Michigan, when it's cold, you cannot leave this equipment in the car overnight because it will freeze, and then there will be a bunch of ice in your lines and nothing will work. So that's kind of where this idea came from, where this panel can stay inside overnight and then we just have to grab it in the morning and it's nice and easy. Everything is contained. My fiance is really into like cord management, so everything's all nice. We haven't plugged in or cut out a hole yet for our pitcher rinser, but eventually this will tee off and feed the espresso machine and the pitcher rinser so that both have water going to them. We have some Velcro kind of on the back here, and we have some on these back pieces. I'm not gonna say that's our like forever solution, but it's working so far. So this just kind of goes right up top. We have our outlet, so that plugs into the wall or your extension cord. This goes right into a 5-gallon water jug of purified drinking water, flows through the pumps, up into the espresso machine, and eventually the pitcher rinser once we get that set up. Over on this side, we have this divider because on this side is where we're gonna have our dump bucket, so all of the wastewater and fun milk, gross stuff will go into here, so just make sure nothing on this side is contaminated. And then right in front of it, we keep a tall trash can, and we have our knock box up top, so all of the old grounds just fall straight into a trash can for easy cleanup. This is generally our cart setup. We just submitted all of our paperwork to get this whole thing inspected. Like I mentioned, we will have a separate table that has some makeshift like 3 basin sinks / hand washing. I believe for us, if it's all approved, it'll just be a hot water kettle with 3 buckets for washing, and then a separate little pan for hand washing, and another kind of like kettle or Cambro with hot water and soap. So once we get a little more comfortable with this setup and we're sure that everything passes and is looking good, we'll definitely dive into another video kind of breaking down the nitty-gritty of the plumbing. That was a whole adventure, but the beautiful thing is once you figure it out once, you can just keep cranking out carts. Yeah, just keep going. Once you do it once, it's easy every other time. And I needed to have a moment for these beautiful sides that we made. We just got like a paint marker and put a projector face down on the sides of our cart and kind of drew all of our logos, which I think adds a super fun flair. To keep up with us, you can subscribe here, follow us on TikTok, or check out our Instagram. We're trying to post as many resources as possible, but you can also find where we're going to be popping up and when we have merch drops. So thanks for the support, thanks for the love, and good luck on your own coffee journey.